Mikey.
Um,
Welcome to another episode of
what
Hoosier Nerds Podcast, where
question?
we're going to discuss beards and stuff
H&P,
with
the
with
Hoozos.
Kris, and Mikey.
Yay! We have lots of things to talk about. Not really, but let's get to it.
Well, do we ever
So,
have lots of things to talk about?
can I already call and just say that Anthony Richardson is going to be a bust for the Indianapolis Colts, and they should just draft another quarterback on the offseason.
Well, we need to suck it up for another couple years and make sure we get Arch Manning out of Texas.
You guys are such like haters over
I am
Anthony
not a
Richardson.
hater.
No, listen to last week's episode.
The guy's built like a
Alright.
toothpick, dude.
He's Glass Bones Richardson.
Happens to the best of them.
I
But
know.
you guys were
I feel
like-
bad for him.
You guys were like, "Let's play Gardner Minshew. I think he's good."
He is
has
good.
the
I
worst
forgot who
game
he was
of
throwing
his
to.
career.
When
Yeah.
have the Colts ever played good
We haven't
against the
won
Jaguars?
in Jacksonville since 2014.
Yeah.
I know. My motorcycle.
Oh, Sierra's dying in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd still say play Garner Minshew. I'm sorry.
No, I want Richardson to be good.
Oh, we
I
don't
just think
have
he should
anyone
sit.
else, so
Right?
I guess we have to. But
Ah,
I just don't like.
Kaepernick.
like,
I just don't like how people like if Anthony Richardson was healthy and Gardner Minshew was healthy. I know there's a lot of people that say just play Gardner Minshew. No, Anthony Richardson is levels above him in anything. Look, listen, like he has this run aspect to him where the quit Graceland. He defense has to respect his running, right? Which allowed I listened like the week before Jaguars when they played whatever they played, um, which allowed the running back to like break for a 50-yard run for a touchdown. Like
That was
Right.
a good run.
So
they had
they've
they had to respect his athleticism and be able to move around the pocket. Gardner Minshew just doesn't do that, not as often and not as good. So they can just sit there and just wait for the run or
So you think that's the difference?
I think he's dying.
that's just that's just something that Gardner Minshew doesn't have, which just elevates the offense so much more with Anthony Richardson.
Well, I could see that, but he's got to keep himself healthy. And
I agree. He's I mean, this is what fourth game. I
Fourth
mean, yes,
game,
he's
yeah.
injured in all of them but one, and it's just like I think at this point he'll learn that there's some runs that you can slide. Like he doesn't need to. If it's 1st and 10 and he's running for a first down, but he's only made it just past the runs. Like
Well,
he doesn't need to like lay down and for a 2-yard gain.
have you seen Baltimore play this year? Because it seems to me that they've changed their offense where Jackson is not running the ball as much.
Yeah, well, Colts beat him, so
Well, I know that, but
Yeah.
they've got to keep him healthy too at the same time. You know. What is Baltimore's record?
They got 2 losses.
Hang on. Let's
what's
see.
that?
Standings. No, Baltimore's 4-2. So they're still good.
So that's just my thoughts. I know I haven't been on here to talk about the Colts in a while, and it's like I hear you guys talking about it. I'm like,
It just makes me mad. Like, dude, like protect yourself.
yeah,
No.
yeah. And he's young, so he thinks he's invincible, and he's big and strong. So I mean, it makes sense. But I, you would think after this injury, especially to his throwing shoulder, like he needs to really like take it slow. But that could happen to anyone. It's just a normal hit. It wasn't like awkward or anything. It just landed on it. Like you've seen Stafford break his collarbone and he still played, but like it can happen to anyone. Just
Daddy,
unfortunate.
come on.
I concur. But
Doesn't mean we can't talk crap.
yeah, we like to talk crap. We're negative. I did watch part of the Raiders play. Who'd they play? Green Bay.
Yeah.
They've only won 3 games because they've played teams shittier than them, and they barely beat them anyway.
Who, Raiders or?
Yeah, the Raiders.
I know they're doing better than I thought they would.
Well, they ain't played nobody. They played Green Bay and New England. There's 2 givens right there. Who else they beat? Denver. I mean, there's your 3 wins. That's not hard. They should beat those 3 at least. Come on.
I thought Green Bay was doing good this year, or not half bad.
No, they don't have an all. I don't do that. They don't really have an all.
They're terrible. Yeah, they don't. They got that quarterback. They got, was it Love?
And I think one of their star defensive players, I think he was a secondary guy, is out. They have young wide receivers, but they're good.
Right. Oh, the Colts play the Bears this week. They got okay. So listen, they could actually come in with a 7 and I think a 6-10 or 7 or 6-11 or 7-10 record because they play the Bears. They'll get beat by the Lions. Then they play the Giants, so they can beat them. The Jets they'll lose to. The Dolphins they'll lose to. The Chiefs they'll lose to. Minnesota's a toss-up. They'll lose to San Diego. They'll lose to Kansas City.
The Colts
they could lose to the Colts. Huh?
Oh, you're talking about the Raiders still?
Yes, the Raiders.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Colts.
No, the Colts do play the Raiders on New Year's Eve.
Are you going to that?
No. I told you I'm not watching the Raiders this year until they fire Josh McDaniels.
Well, you would be watching the Raiders. You'd be watching the Colts.
Well, I know that, but there's other games I could pick of the Colts that I wouldn't have to see the Raiders play.
But you might get some really cheap tickets.
Well, that's the way it's going. There might be really cheap tickets for for the Colts and the Raiders by then.
Who's the quarterback for the Raiders now? It seems like every game they have something going on.
They don't know yet. Garoppolo's hurt. He's
has a back
hurt. Then they had Hoyer.
I think it's news when Garoppolo is healthy.
He still sucks. That guy's got no arm strength. He makes dumb decisions. He's why did they pick? They might as well kept Carr. Honestly, it's a kind of a lateral, no arm strength move. It's like Carr with no arm strength. They never throw the ball downfield ever. Now they're talking about trading Hunter Renfrow. Because McDaniels is just he's a piece of shit. I can't stand him.
I feel like he's going to tank the team before they fire him.
I hope they fire him. They need to. There's got to be somebody else out there.
I'm so glad he turned that plane around on the tarmac now.
Right? He would have dismantled the Colts. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He would have let go. I'm surprised the Raiders still have Max Crosby, honestly. So, he would have dismantled the whole. He would have dismantled the Colts. I firmly believe.
You think they may be trading though at the end of the season?
Who?
Or
Crosby?
before the trade? No, yeah, they start selling.
No, I think they'll trade. Hunter Renfrow. I think they'll trade Max Crosby.
I don't know what Crosby's contract is.
He's the best defensive player.
Because I'm guessing if he's up at the end of the year or maybe next year, they'll probably trade him.
I don't think they'll trade Crosby.
Trade bait.
They'll trade.
If I was Crosby, I'd want to get traded.
I don't know. He's got the Raider insignia tattooed on his arm. So
you can get that easily covered up.
There's probably some good tattoo artists that could change that to the next team.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever whatever insignia they can put over. I mean, like you got to think about it. That's like the Raiders. So the only insignias you can put over that could possibly be like you'd have to put the bear if you traded to the Bears. You couldn't put the C because you could see the C. You couldn't do the Giants. You couldn't do the Jets. You could do the Jets. You could do the Buccaneers or the Panthers, the Steelers, the Patriots. But you couldn't do like the Rams or the Chargers or anybody like that. I don't think. He ain't going nowhere. He's about all they got. But anyway, that's just the way it is. Have you been watching anything, Kris? Nothing except your Star Wars shows, Star Trek shows? Have you been watching those?
I honestly, I really haven't been watching anything. I just we were kind of going back through the whole Harry Potter series, and we kind of stopped. And then I just picked up. I decided to get the cheap Netflix with the ads because
Yeah.
we're missing a few of our shows on there, like Great British Baking Show. We like to watch that, so we've been watching that, catching back up what we missed.
Oh, okay.
But I was busy this weekend, and then really, when do you got time to watch anything during the day?
You don't. Have you guys seen Totally Killer? It's on Amazon.
Never heard of it.
No.
It is so good, dude. It's like really, really good. It's about this. It's the plot is when the infamous Sweet 16 killer returns 35 years after his first murder spree to claim another victim. 17-year-old Jamie accidentally travels back in time to 1887, determined to stop the killer before he can start. It is like Scream meets Back to the Future. And it's funny, it's smart, it's really good. I mean, anything with time travel is really good. So,
I know, like you should watch Star Trek.
but this is better because it's like Scream meets Back to the Future.
But it's not Star Trek.
No, it's not.
It has the girl from Sabrina.
Yeah, and they go back in time and like her mom, they're called the Mollies, and they all like different. They all dress up like she sees her mom when she goes back in time. She sees her mom. Her mom's part of this clique called the Mollies, and they all dress up like different characters from Molly Ringwald movies, but they all dress like Molly Ringwald. So there's Breakfast Club Molly Ringwald, 16 Candles Molly Ringwald, Pretty in Pink Molly Ringwald. So there's all these Molly Ringwalds. They're called the Mollies, and the killer points them out, and you got to figure out who the killer is, and it's really good. I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon. When I had Amazon for a week, I watched it.
Oh, I dropped Amazon because it's one less bill I have to pay, and I
Well,
barely used it.
Well, I used it for the
Amazon
the
Prime Day.
Yeah, I got it for the Prime Day and watched for two, and then I got Prime for two. Because honestly, I got free shipping with Prime, and it was cheaper than shipping. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, that's one. Ever since I dropped Prime, there's a couple things I've wanted to buy on Amazon, and it's like, dang, I don't have free shipping anymore. I don't want to pay this, and I keep needing to load up Kimberly's Prime to buy my stuff.
Well, there you go. See, and then you can watch Totally Killer.
Yeah, I just need
It is a good movie. It's a horror movie, but it's not. It's kind of like a comedy horror movie.
You're a comedy.
I watched the first episode of Goosebumps.
How
Is
is that?
that-
I've been wondering.
how is
I
that?
saw
Yeah.
that.
It wasn't too bad. Like, it's definitely a lot better than the old show. It's like I don't even remember much of the old show, but it looks like they're just using the same cast, and then they're just kind of like each episode is like one of those books or one of those stories or whatnot.
Hmm.
And they're like kind of linking it all together. It looks, from what I seen from like looking at the titles of the shows and some of the images, but
Daddy.
I liked it. It's
do that
pretty
one, do
creepy.
that one.
I mean, I watched it with Grayson was sitting next to me, and she was kind of looking at it every now and then, but she wasn't afraid. I guess maybe she didn't really know what was going on. But
She's still too young to be scared by scary movies or scary things.
yeah,
How old is she?
3.
No, she's not. I was watching freaking Sammy Terry when I was 3 and I was 2.
Yeah. So,
But
Daddy.
I've watched The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is based on a true story. It's about a guy that murdered a bunch of people in Texarkana, Arkansas in 1946. And like they never caught the killer.
Ooh.
But it's based on a true story, but it is not like anywhere near the true story. This was kind of like it came out in 76. So there was a whole genre of like these supposedly true movies. And the people in Texarkana said the movie is nothing like what happened in real life. They've come out to say that. But it was true though. They dreaded sundown. Like they didn't want to go out because this guy was on the loose just whacking people for no reason, and they never caught him. But it's that it's that 70s kind of gritty film look, like original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
It's that look, so it makes it a good movie. It's a good movie. It's got Ben Johnson in it. I mean, he's pretty big, and it's got Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island.
Ooh.
But I highly recommend it. It's not bad. It's on Freevee and Pluto, and I watched it on Prime, but you can watch it on Freevee. But I watched that. That's good. Deathgasm was a horrible movie. It wasn't that good, but it reminded me of when I was a teenager, and I was told that if you listen to rock music, you will summon the devil. So that one was okay. Then I watched. Of course, I watched The Toxic Avenger. That was good. And then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yoga Hosers. I want to talk about this movie for a second.
Yoga Hosers.
Yoga Hosers, which it's a Kevin Smith movie. And it's got a crazy, like this cast is unreal for a movie I've never heard of before. It came out. Have you ever seen Tusk?
no, I remember seeing something about it though, or you remember talking about it.
So Yoga Hosers is in the Tusk universe. So it came out in 2016. It's about these two teenage yoga enthusiasts. They work because it's a Kevin Smith movie. It was written by Kevin Smith. They work at a convenience store, and it's called and then they're Canadian, which on top of it. So it's called A to Z. A, how's it going? A. So it's A to Z is the name of this. So it's the two girls in the movie is Harley Quinn Smith, which is Kevin Smith's daughter, and Lily Rose Depp, which you know who Lily Rose Depp is, right?
Yeah.
That's Johnny Depp's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, so they went to school together. Those two have known each other since kindergarten. So they grew up together, Lily Rose Depp and Harley Quinn Smith. It has them, they're in it. Johnny Depp is in it. Adam Brody is in it. Austin Butler is in it, which he was Elvis. Natasha Lyonne is in it, and so is Justin Long. Plus Haley Joel Osment, the I See Dead People kid, he's in it too. Plus Kevin Conroy's in it briefly for like one scene, and so is Stan Lee. So it's fun. I didn't realize I've only seen Lily Rose Depp in like a drama setting, She could pull off comedy. Like she's really talented actress. I mean, she was only like 16 when they made this movie, but she's really funny in this movie. So I highly recommend it. And they're like, what was it this is? Oh, they would go, sorry about that. So, because they locked the door and all these people wanted to come in to the convenience store. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, because they were speaking extra Canadian. But Johnny Depp has got all this makeup on, and he's got these moles on his face. But every time you see him, the moles are in a different spot on his face, so they're never. And he did it on purpose. But they fight
What is this movie
evil.
called
They
again?
fight yoga hosers.
When did it come out?
2016.
I need to look this movie up.
It's entertaining. It's not his best. It's not really Kevin Smith's best, but it is entertaining. They fight Nazis because there's some underground layer, and this Nazi freezes himself, and he becomes unfrozen. So he wants to start. He wants to build up the Nazi party in Canada again. It's a little far fetched, but it's pretty entertaining. I highly recommend it. It's on Peacock, actually, Chris.
Okay.
That way you don't get commercials, I don't think.
No, I don't. We don't get commercials on Paramount.
Yeah, no, it's on.
Oh, Peacock. I get commercials on your Peacock.
Well, not on movies though.
No,
They show them at the beginning. They show like 2 or 3 minutes of commercials, and then they say, "Enjoy your movie."
No, I was watching a movie the other day, and I got commercials during it.
Not on Peacock. They always do them before.
I was watching Sing, the movie Sing, and it had commercials.
See, it shouldn't. I never have commercials. I always get 3 minutes of commercials before the movie starts, and then they'll say, "Enjoy your fine feature film." So I do. So I checked out Yoga Hosers. I had never heard of it before, but I recommend it. That new Pet Cemetery movie sucks ass. I don't recommend that at all. But I watched the documentary, and I do want to talk about this like in depth because I think we should talk about it. It's called 77 Minutes, and it is a documentary on what's it
60
on?
Minutes?
No, 77 minutes.
But it's a documentary on 60 Minutes.
No, it was not on 60 Minutes. It was on Freevee. I think I watched it on Freevee. Freevee or Tubi is what I watched it on. I think I watched it on Freevee. So it is about, I remember when I was a kid, we were on vacation, I think. And there was a shooting at a McDonald's in San Ysidro, California, which is right on the border. It is, San Ysidro used to be, in the 50s, San Diego incorporated San Ysidro. So San Diego police could kind of go in there into San Ysidro, it gave them more of an area to cover. And it was better for the community. It was better for the police departments because it's on the border to Mexico. So this guy walks into a McDonald's in the middle of the day and just starts shooting people. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And he had a pistol, a shotgun, and an Uzi. And he leveled all these people. I mean, like, he just wiped them out. So what the documentary is about, it is about them. Yeah, he shot 40 men, women, and children. It took law enforcement 77 minutes to end the siege. That's why it's called 77 minutes. But this guy, he went in there and wiped them out. And so the big controversy, of course, people are looking at it now, but I think it came out a few years ago. It came out in 2016. So how many mass shootings have there been from 1984 to 2016? So the police kind of know how to, for the most part, know how to react to a mass shooting, right?
Unless you talk about certain cases.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's not include Parkland or Uvalde. But it's to get the perpetrator and get him fast. But they waited 77 minutes. There were 150 cops. They said there were 150 cops or 75 cops or something outside the McDonald's and against one guy with 3 guns. Now, the police department's argument was, they couldn't use tear gas because there were people in the restaurant. They said that with the 3 different types of guns that were firing. They didn't know if there were 3 people in there or not, or 1. And if there was 3, if they shoot 1, is the other one going to go on a rampage and start shooting more people? But the guy, when he did the shooting, he went through 45 minutes later and shot the people more, because there was one guy that he was shot. His wounds were 45 minutes apart. So people are mad at the police. The police are like, this is, we had never faced this before. So there was a sniper ended up taking him down, because he ended up, I guess they figured out it was only one guy is what it was. But up until then, the only mass shooting probably was the one in Texas? Was it Texas Tech? Charles Whitman?
Went up to the bell tower.
Yeah, I went to the bell tower, right. That was probably, and that was in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
So how do you respond to a mass shooter, in a public place? Like, he was encased in a public place. And one of the people tried to argue was, well, these people probably bled to death. Well, but as the coroner said, and so the police, person can bleed to death in like a minute. You know what I mean? Especially with the mass wounds that these people had. But they don't. He was from Ohio, apparently. He went to Ohio, or he moved from Ohio. He got work in Tijuana and he got laid off, so he was without a job. And he went that morning to court to argue a ticket. He waited 3 hours at the courthouse to argue his ticket. So this guy had patience. Like, then he went home, loaded up his guns, and set off. And the McDonald's was like maybe a half a block.
What set him off? Did they explain what set him off?
He did not like Spanish people. He did not like Mexicans. And this was mostly, but he like the majority of the workers, there was, there were all kinds of people in there from every race. There were black people, there were white people, there were Hispanics. That's the only thing that they can think of, was that he hated Hispanics. Which, why would you move to Tijuana? Why would you get a job in Tijuana if you hate Spain? Maybe he got a bad experience in Tijuana, and that's why
his girlfriend dumped him.
No, he was married.
His girlfriend dumped him.
Maybe in Tijuana. Yeah, when he lost his job. But it kind of, and then you got to think. So 94, then there wasn't another. I mean, there were school shootings, but they were kind of isolated school shootings. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't just go in and just pop off randomly. Nothing major happened until Columbine. So that was 15 years later. So there was nothing to learn from. There was nothing for them to learn in 84, which means there was nothing for the police in Denver to learn either. Except they should have went in much sooner too, obviously. I don't know why they didn't. But, I mean, I'm not a police officer, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can't be all like Die Hard, not everybody's John McClane. Police have protocol to follow. Right or wrong, they still have protocol. You just can't go storming in and be the hero. You could end up dead yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's I just didn't like it because I think they were trying to, well, why didn't you do this? Well, it was 1984. There was nothing prior to that.
There was no protocol for it.
Right. Yeah, there was no protocol. None whatsoever. So, but it was crazy. And like, he was shooting people like outside the McDonald's. He shot 3 kids. 2 of them ended up dead. He shot an old couple walking in a door. He shot 3 McDonald's employees. He shot another one, but he got away and they ended up hiding in a closet. They couldn't get out the back door. The employees could not get out the back door.
Why?
They locked the back door. One of the girls that survived said they locked the back door because they didn't want them stealing food.
Jeez.
So, I mean, how many lives could they have saved had those? Because they knew they couldn't get out the back door, so they had to just hide, and then ended up getting shot later on. He came behind the counter. and shot 3 or 4 people, and only one of those survived.
How do you survive if he's in there for 77 minutes? How do you survive? McDonald's isn't that big. There's not many places to hide.
He walked around. He walked. Plus he had shot out the gun. He shot out the windows. The windows were tinted because it's McDonald's in San Diego, right? Plus, when the bullets went through, it didn't shatter the glass. It just put a bullet hole in it, so it just spidered the glass out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some police said they couldn't see into the McDonald's, but there were media there that said, "Oh, we could see the guy walking around in there." So I don't know. Who do you believe?
You know me, I'm more inclined to believe the cops over the media.
Well, I would think so too. Plus, maybe you could see him. Like, did you see him the whole time moving around, or did you see him moving around once? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And was it him or was it somebody else? Did you know it was him?
Right. Exactly.
A cop's not gonna go shooting like that unless it's like guaranteed the person.
Well, I mean, he could have He could have been walking a person around as a hostage.
Yeah.
Then you
Or there
shoot
might be
the
somebody
hostage.
behind them, like hiding. You don't have a clear sight picture.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of things there. So, I mean, it was a real shame. And here we are on vacation, and we're eating McDonald's and stuff, and you hear about this massacre in a McDonald's.
Well, I hate to say it, but that's how I am at movie theaters. I still watch everybody as they come in.
Oh yeah, so do I. You have to. I mean, you almost have to everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, where are the exits at?
Well, like at malls, even I'm like hyper aware when I go to like Indy now, to like the mall.
Especially Castleton.
Well, Castleton, you basically have to wear body armor to go to, anyways.
I don't know if I'd be traveling anywhere. I mean, right now.
Well, I'm going to Tennessee next week or this weekend. Little weekend getaway to Pigeon Forge.
To Pigeon Forge.
Yeah, we got they've built a lot of new roads there. Apparently, my father-in-law was saying.
Get ready for traffic.
Oh well. We plan on doing. We're going to do one of the dinner shows. I think we're going to do Pirates, the dinner show.
Because there's nothing that says Tennessee and the Appalachian Mountains like Pirates, Kris.
I was reading the reviews and it had the best reviews of them all. Hey, it's all Dolly Parton. There's all 3 of the dinner show things are Dolly Parton.
Oh, I'm sure it's good. I mean, I hear there's good shows there.
And then you know what else is in Pigeon Forge? The Titanic Museum.
I would like to go to that.
We're going to go there because she loves the Titanic movie. And then we're going to go. I think we're going to go to the Wax Museum
in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, I mean Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge is basically connected now. It's all one city.
Right. I mean, you just got that little stretch of the mountain there, with the tunnel.
Yeah.
That's about it. No, that's fun. That'll be fun. I want to go. I would love to go to Gatlinburg. Are you going over to Cades Cove or anything?
I don't know. We haven't. We're kind of gonna play it by ear somewhat too. We know what we want to do, but we're only there till Saturday to Tuesday. So
look into the Roaring Fork Auto Tour too. That's just outside of Gatlinburg, and you can always see bears on it.
Roaring Fork.
Roaring Fork Auto Tour. Yeah, look, it's free. It's just a big circle you drive around. It don't take very long, maybe 30 minutes. It's kind of neat. You could see a bear there. I don't know if you can now, but I'm just saying. I know
when we went to Alaska, we missed a bear by 5 minutes. We never saw a bear.
That might have been a good thing though, because that's a grizzly bear, and they will eat you alive.
Well, she said our tour guide said it was a brown bear, or not brown bear, a black bear. She saw, and that's what we missed. And one of the other people asked her, "It's like, do you have a bear mace or something?" And she was like, "No, I have a flare," because they're scared of the flares.
You know what? One of these days they're gonna get used to those flares. They're gonna bite her head off.
Well. Oh well.
It sounds fun. I'm jealous. I would love to go to Pigeon Forge or in that area.
Oh yeah, we're going to go to the aquarium. We're going to go mining, and we're going to go to the Moonshine distillery. Old Smoky
Okay.
Distillery.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about something with Mikey before I forgot. Hey, Mikey, you still here?
I'm here. Yes. I'm here.
What do you think about the new Dragon Ball series announced?
I don't. Don't touch it, please.
What
Um,
happened?
it's poison ivy. Um,
The floor is lava.
I want to
Yeah.
see.
it's right there. Okay. I don't really care too much for it. I don't know. I'm just not interested in it.
It's not what we want. It's not what the fans wanted.
Is it on now? Are
No, they
No.
announced it.
Oh, they
It
announced
comes out about in a year. I think when they said it.
So
will be
what
dropping.
aren't you excited about? Like,
So okay, so let me preface this because I don't think Kris knows. So there's originally after Dragon Ball Z, there was a show called Dragon Ball GT where Goku got turned into a kid. Dragon Ball GT was so bad it almost killed Dragon Ball. Granted, there are some aspects of GT that are really good, like Super Saiyan 4 and some other things, but in the long run, GT was bad, like hands down. And it was just you had all this hype of Goku being turned into like this, awesome warrior, but then he's turned into a kid again and not, that cool anymore. Well, in the new series, the manga, the comic book has explored like on after what we've seen. Like they get more powerful. Like it's a really good story from what I've read like online with the mangas. Like I haven't read the mangas, but I've watched, YouTube videos of people breaking down what's happening. And then they're not going with that route. They're going with turning them into kids again. There's some magician that turned him into a kid. And like the fans are in an uproar right now because
is the new show going to be about kids?
they got turned into kids again. So it's basically about them as kids.
Why would
But
they?
they're like adults.
What's
in kids'
exciting
bodies.
about them being kids? I'm just curious. Should they still have the same powers they did as an adult?
They haven't shown anything.
Oh.
I don't even know when it takes place because they never showed they didn't show some of the new characters from Dragon Ball Super. So it's not really known when it's going to take place.
Huh.
And I just had a thought in my head. I wonder if it's a different universe because they're in Champa's universe too because they brought Earth back.
Is it the same people that's ever always made Dragon Ball, or is it somebody new?
Yeah, it's the same people, same company, same like lead guy. But the lead guy doesn't do much anymore. He kind of just story writes, but that's about it. He has his like protege do most of it now. But also, he's been doing it since like the '80s, so he's up there.
He's up there.
See, how did Goku get changed back from a kid? Last time, did they ever show that? I don't. It's been so long.
Dragon
since I
Balls.
watched the Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Why can't? I mean, like, the only thing is like who who is the villain in this? Like,
I don't know.
like no, that's the thing. Like, even if they announce it, like how like it just. I just can't get these words out because it's like because we see like of course it's like in the Super it was the other universes I guess towards the end of Jiren, okay,
Yeah.
right, and
Jiren was the big bad guy or hit.
yeah, I mean I kind of get why they like kind of reverted him back to a kid because where are they supposed to go from there? Goku's definitely like the strongest person in the universe. There's no question about it.
Have you seen the Moro arc or the Granola arc?
No.
Okay, so there's there's two more people that come out afterwards. So Moro is like a magician who like feeds on planets, and he learns how to use Ultra Instinct from Goku because he can like copy powers. So basically, Goku masters Ultra Instinct, and then also Vegeta masters something called Ultra Ego, which is like his like right. You remember Top in the Top Tournament of Power, and he became basically a god of destruction. He gets that power like Top did in the Tournament of Power. and then they bring Frieza comes back, and Frieza is the Frieza Black now, and Frieza is like the most powerful character in the universe. Like they think fans are saying he's even more powerful than Beerus now.
That's
So,
pretty wild.
yeah. So it's like the manga is doing it. It's just
Yes.
they're not following
Yeah.
the manga.
That's
Unless
what
this
I
is,
would like. Like that's what I want.
but also I don't know if you heard me, but it's like they didn't show like any of the characters from Super. Like you didn't see Beerus. Ow, Mati, little
I
asshole.
thought we did. I thought
I
I
know
saw.
they showed Shin, the Kai, but they didn't show Beerus or Whis or anybody.
Okay.
But granted, it's only been one trailer so far.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like
Uh.
walking around and Mati like attacked me.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah. I was like, I remember watching. I didn't even know it was going to be announced. I was watching TikTok and some guy was like, "Oh, it's the trailer," and like I think, and like the whole time he's like, "Please don't suck, or don't be babies, don't be babies." Like he's like he was just praying like over the, and it's like, and then like he sees it, he's like, you could just hear this go, like he just audible like
well,
So
sigh.
is it like Muppet Babies? Like you ruined the Muppet.
It's almost like Looney Tunes.
yeah, Looney Tunes Kids.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
You remember that
hated the
show?
baby. Well, I wasn't a big fan of Muppet Babies. I'm saying, but yeah, I mean, I get it. So, do they scream like when they do their screaming and crap when they fight? Do they like do it like
Yeah.
little kids?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's devastating.
At least that's what they did in like GT.
I just don't want it to suck. I hope what we're
Yeah,
seeing is
I'm.
like a very small part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't even think of like a direction they could go with it. So I guess I'm in a way like optimistic, but eh.
Well, we didn't know GT was gonna suck until it started, so maybe this one
Yeah.
won't suck.
Yeah, I can only hope.
Well, Taylor Swift's movie is doing good apparently.
But it's not the whole concert. They lied to people.
Oh, how dare they?
It is not. They said that there was gonna. Oh my god! Then they said that you can video the movie. You know, you can use your phone and do the video. You know, because you're not supposed to do that in movie theater. $92 million it made. Holy shit!
God,
Good.
Mikey, you gonna go?
No,
He's already been. He's seen it like 4
no,
times.
I have not. No, it's like I saw the videos because it's basically a concert in a movie theater, and that's just not the vibe.
And you know, people are up singing and dancing and shit.
Yes,
So
yes.
like,
It's so
You're gonna have a bunch of
cringe.
10-year-old girls in there singing.
It's so cringe, and I'm
it is.
not.
I
I'm not
agree.
in
I
for it.
agree. It is cringe. Yes. I wouldn't. I don't think I would go see anybody I like. Like, okay, so like you know how they do those Fathom events and they do like they do Les Miserables and they do all those stuff from like Broadway. And I would never go see that in a movie theater because I
Yeah.
think it would ruin it. I would rather wait and go see it live in New York City. And I can imagine a concert would be the same way. $92 million. Oh my god. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 49 minutes. But you know, like they probably do stuff. They don't show all the songs and
Yeah.
I wonder if they cut out the part where she is a witch and has a big
Summons a
thing
bunch
on
of demons.
summons demons.
I saw a TikTok where one of the theater employees took a looked on the security cam of the movie theater, and like there, I don't know what song it was or what, but they're a group of like a large. It was probably like 15 of them. They were all in the front row in a circle, like holding hands, like ring around the rosy, and they're just going around in circles. He's like, they're like, this is a cult. Yeah, like
That's what I've been saying.
it was. I think I shared it in
Yeah, I
one
think
of the
that's where I
groups.
saw it.
Yeah,
Ah, that's too hilarious.
it was crazy.
People are crazy. But yeah, I can't imagine going to. I can't imagine going to a movie theater to watch a concert.
Yeah,
That's gonna be odd.
that's not it. That's not it, bro.
Now, if it's like a movie, like is it? Well, I don't know.
Like
Yeah,
I
I
see
would-
Bohemian
I think it's
Rhapsody.
just I think it's just a concert.
Yeah, it's
Like
just a
it's not like a documentary over the tour. I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would go see a
Yeah.
documentary how they, prepare like the Justin Bieber movie, right?
yeah,
That I mean, I saw that on TV because my stepdaughter begged me to watch it with her, and it was actually not bad. But that's different. That's a documentary. That's not showing the whole concert,
uh-huh.
expecting me to sing and dance to it with my rainbow glittery shit eyeballs and friendship.
What about your bracelets? Did you get any bracelets?
I didn't go. Talking
I know.
about.
I know.
avoided the movie theater this past.
I wonder if they're handing out any bracelets at the theater.
Yeah, Mikey's probably got a whole armful when he saw because he's seen it so many times.
No,
He's been making them.
absolutely.
Is that why you were on last week? You were making
Uh,
friendship bracelets. I'm busy, guys.
Leave me
Swifty.
alone.
Hey, you know what? You're finessing them, making some money. I don't blame you.
Sierra, we're out of W's. Can you go to Hobby Lobby and give me some W's? Yeah, I couldn't do that.
We had to get our Taylor Swift shit talk in for the day.
I saw that there was. I don't know if I told this last time I was on, but I think I did say something about it. There's a Taylor Swift trivia thing in November, like down there near like in Avon or something at some place. I was like,
Really?
I got it sent it by my like future mother-in-law to me because she knows I like Taylor Swift, but I'm like, I don't like Taylor Swift. Like I don't know like every aspect of her life. Like I think that's I listen to her songs, but it's not like I don't consider myself a Swiftie, I guess.
No,
I
it's
like
okay
her.
to like her music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people I like. I probably wouldn't go
But-
see in concert,
But
and
I'm
I don't know
not-
everything
yeah,
about their music.
And I'm not gonna jump in front of a bullet for her. I'm not no.
But
That's how
what was I
far.
going to say? I was going to say something about you were talking about that. Oh crap, I don't remember. So it's a trivia night.
Yeah, some type of trivia.
Oh,
There's
I know what I
prizes
was
and
gonna
stuff.
So they were talking about the movie on the news the other morning, right? And they were showing her singing that we're never ever getting back together, right?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to the words to the song, and I'm like, "You're 35 years old. Why are you singing like a 15-year-old?" That was the thing. That was the thought that crossed my mind. That whole song, like, that's a high school kid song. That's not like it's not something an adult would sing about. Think about heartbreak. You know what I mean? Sing about like Brad Paisley when the whiskey song, Whiskey Lullaby, or
Yeah.
George Jones. He stopped loving her today, and the only reason he stopped loving her today was because he died. That's heartbreak.
Oh shit.
Do you know what I mean? Let's do drinking songs. Let's not do I burnt your picture in the oven because I just need, what are you, 8th grade? Come on, make yourself a little bit more mature. But I think the reason she doesn't do that is because then she loses her audience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of her songs could be like, I guess, those type of songs could be like relatable to a
For kids.
certain crowd.
They were
And-
relatable when I was in high school.
Yep. Sure.
don't know what we sing about. Like they sang, we didn't have stuff like that. We had hairband. We had Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Don't know what you got till it's gone.
I had
And then
Paramore.
Kiss was singing, let's put the X in sex. I mean, so we had a good time.
Pour some sugar on me.
That's right. We had that too. Yes.
Or is it sugar or honey?
No, it's sugar. Pour some sugar on.
No.
Do you take sugar?
I think it's pour some honey on me.
No, it's pour some sugar on me.
We need a fact check.
Do you take sugar 1 lump or 2? Honey doesn't come in lumps.
It is pour some sugar on me.
Pour some sugar on me. I was alive, Mikey.
Who are you now?
Oh my God, we
came out. When did it come? When did it start? 87.
It came out in 88. Well, it got popular. That album came out in 87, but it got popular in the summer of 88. I remember we were on vacation. We went to Myrtle Beach for vacation. So, of course, my parents would stay in the hotel at night, and me and my brother would go to walk down to where all the tourist traps were, because they had like Ripley's and they had a little theme park, they had roller coasters and bumper cars. They had all kinds of souvenir shops. Every souvenir shop you walked in was either playing Pour Some Sugar on Me or Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah. It was like clockwork. It didn't matter and all those t-shirts, the shops, it's like Daytona Beach. They all sell the same shirts at every single.
Yeah. You go to the store next door and it's got the exact same things.
Yes. That's what it was like. And they were all playing Pour Some Sugar on Me or Welcome to the Jungle. That was a fun vacation. But I digress. But speaking of, I know y'all talking about video games and shit. I thought you would like this, Kris. I didn't know this. So this is a little historic fact I saw on X, since you can't see it. So when the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris was engulfed in flames, Ubisoft, the creators of Assassin's Creed, had previously mapped the cathedral for their game. They generously extended their plans and expertise to assist in the restoration and reconstruction of this iconic structure. Additionally, they contributed £500,000 toward the restoration effort.
I remember that.
That's pretty cool.
And the historian responsible for it says, as images of the cathedral's roof being consumed by the fire began to circulate, Maxim Durand, the historian responsible for ensuring historical accuracy in the Assassin's Creed franchise, initially doubted their authenticity. He had spent 4 years overseeing the creation of Assassin's Creed Unity, a game set during the reconstruction that featured a remarkably precise representation of Notre Dame Cathedral as its centerpiece. That I didn't know that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Unity was one of the worst games, apparently, like people thought, but I actually really liked it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought a lot of people didn't like Black Flag.
No, people love Black Flag. Unity was hated because it had a lot of issues when it came out.
No, I wasn't big on Valhalla because I thought you had to move around way too much to get anywhere.
Yeah, that was. I didn't like Valhalla because there's just way too much going on half the time.
It took a long time to get from point A to point B. That was my problem with it. But the one was it where you go, like that was the American Revolution, where you run into Ben Franklin and all that. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I heard good things about the most recent one, Mirage.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I want to play it, and I to be honest, and I almost got this bug today. I was just playing the Modern Warfare one. There's a 3 that's about to come out.
Yeah,
I kind of want to play that.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
I know.
What war is it based on? Is it based on anything, or like what era? Is it modern?
Probably.
Mirage?
No.
No. No.
Modern Warfare?
Modern Warfare 3 is like modern, maybe a little futuristic, but modern.
Okay.
You know,
I don't. I
they
just
set
kept
like
on
10
yeah,
years in the future so they can get a
yeah.
little futuristic with stuff.
November 8th. Yeah, I just kept on thinking about like because I was listening to a podcast where they were talking about Medal of Honor and stuff, and I'm just like, man, that was the glory days. Like,
Dude, I miss those days.
I always played
Black Ops 2, you know, be up till like 2,
I
3 in
always
the
enjoyed the
morning.
World War II games.
yeah, it made me want to be like, just take a week off and like that's how much I'd play it though. I think maybe if I had no responsibilities and I like could just sit there for a week or something, and I could play that maybe just for a week, and then I think I'd get my fill. Yep.
I have a question though. Speaking of video games, speaking of warfare video games,
Daddy.
why hasn't there ever been a hugely popular, especially Call of Duty or any of those? Why has there not been any Civil War games?
There have been. They're just not popular. There's actually one on Steam that I've really thought about getting. I think it's called War. Give me 1 second. I'll look it up. But it's kind of it's really
But why don't
good
they do like a Call of Duty?
because there's no fun in
Gettysburg
having to sit
War.
there and reload your gun for 30 seconds.
But you would. I mean, if you would just push a button and it would load it. You know what I mean?
Trust me, there are popular games with muskets.
Muskets. I just think it would be cool. I mean, you know, they
You
did
just have never
Assassin's
heard of
Creed. It
them.
went to the Revolution. I think it would be cool to see. You know, like you start out as like a private and you can move your way up into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. Kris, get on that. I want 25%.
Hey, I used to want to be a video game designer, but
What
I
happened?
never did it.
What happened to your dream, Kris? Who crushed your
So
dream?
my dream went from that to I wanted to do architecture, and then I did a tour at Ball State, and I realized I didn't want to do architecture because
Why?
I didn't want to have to. It was a commitment. Like it was the way it was explained to me is you live in the architecture building.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. Back when I was doing it, I didn't have the commitment.
It just
And then
it just didn't appeal to you at the time. Does it appeal
Yeah.
to you now? You kind of go, man, I should have went to architecture school.
Yeah, it does.
Does it? I mean,
I was
you always have
accepted.
regrets sometimes. So
I was accepted, and Ball State only accepts 100 people a year.
really,
Yeah.
oh, does that take a lot of math, like algebra and geometry? And
Yes and no. If you're doing just like houses and stuff, it doesn't take as much.
yeah,
But when you get to bigger buildings, of course it does. But honestly, a lot of your programs, like anything else now, your programs do a lot of it for you now too.
that's true. Yeah,
Like AutoCAD does almost everything for you.
yeah. When I worked at the machine shop, they had an AutoCAD, and they would do drawings about for metal,
Mm-hmm.
steel beams and things like that, and it told you everything that you needed.
Yeah. I mean, there's still like math that goes into it because it could look really good in blueprints, but then you look at it and it's like, ew.
Well,
Because
even sometimes the blueprints are off and they have to be adjusted. Yeah, that's
no, I don't have a lot of regrets like for schooling, but that's one of them. I wish I would have made the commitment and done it.
See, I wanted to design race cars. I wanted to be an IndyCar engineer, but I flunked algebra in high school twice. That kind of killed that dream for me.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Yeah, you're gonna have to know your numbers.
That's right. Algebra, geometry,
I really
trigonometry is all very important. So if I can't pass algebra, then there's really no point in trying to go further.
I really blame let's say it, video game addiction back in the day, for a lot of it. Like, I would have rather played video games than did almost anything else. Like, I skirted social things to play video games.
Oh. See, I think I could have went. I mean, I could have went into racing in some capacity. It could have been PR work. I think
Photography for teams.
Yeah, well, it could have been. It would have been, PR work, photography, anything. By this time in my age now, I'd be established somewhere. I could be working with
Yeah.
Getty or or someplace like that, or be a stringer, work for somebody racing. I mean, every race team has photographers. Every manufacturer has photographers. Honda, Chevy. I met a guy at the Brickyard weekend, and he shot for Chevrolet, a NASCAR. That's what his job was, to shoot for NASCAR. And I kicked myself because, and I self-destructed. It was my own mind that destroyed that for me. Oh, you can't do this. I don't think, you're never going to do it. You're in Florida. What are you going to do? And I self-destructed. I talked myself out of it, and I regret that. Because looking at it now, and being, where I was able to write and take pictures, you know what I mean? Kind of behind the scenes. I realized I should have done it and went further with it back when I had the opportunity when I went to college and stuff. So I do regret that aspect of it, but it's too late now. I'm old. I can't do all that. It's just, that's a young man's game,
Mm-hmm.
You got to start that when you're in your 20s. Then when you're in your 50s, you're used to it. That's your lifestyle. But to start now, I don't think I could do it.
I believe in you.
I can still sell my pictures. I got them pictures developed. So
I
got
you were
them
going
damn
somewhere
pictures.
else
Let's hope
that
they're
I
not
could sell.
naughty pictures.
No, I don't have naughty pictures. I've got those pictures developed so I could develop them for art weekend. That art weekend at downtown Kokomo, and then I got freaking COVID and couldn't couldn't display them. So they're just sitting here on my love seat, not doing anything.
You got naughty pictures on your love seat. I heard all
He was going to sell his feet.
that. Yeah.
It's
I
hot.
took pictures like
My mama's hot.
All right. Well, what was that? What was that shower thought I said? Oh, I do have a shower thought for us this week. When you're waiting for the waiter, doesn't that make you the waiter? Okay.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Turn it over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know where he is.
Anyways, you can catch us at Hoosier Nerds on Facebook. You can catch us at Pod Nerds on Twitter, but still not me. I'm still banned. But I still have control of the podcast Twitter, so I'm still on there, but I'm not being edgy like I was with my account.
Yeah, don't comment on people's shit and get us banned.
No, I'm not. Okay, I have commented on a couple things, but it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. Anyways, you can watch us at YouTube or your favorite podcasting sites. You can listen to us such as iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and Amazon.
It does.
Yeah, you put hatred towards Marvels is what you did. I saw that. He's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, that is true. We don't.
They were promoting the new Marvel movie, and I put, "Who cares?"
But who cares in a meme or a GIF?
What's the new Marvel movie?
The Marvels. It's Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and
it's Miss Marple from Agatha Christie.
I don't
It's
play
Captain Marvel, Miss Marple, the old lady, and she's gonna solve a crime. Wow, Captain Marvel assists her. I'd go see that.
I wouldn't.
I would go see Miss Marple. You solve a crime being assisted by Captain Marvel. I would. I'm all over that. Hollywood, if you're hearing me, make that.
In Hollywood, you'll never know who your nerds are, but
of the crap that's out there, Kris.
What?
It can't be any worse than 90% of the crap they release anyway.
Nope. Straight to VHS. That's what it'll be.
Yes.